Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is the second video on this channel, so I'm still very new and getting the hang of things. And I make videos illustrating how I would budget certain salaries in hypothetical situations. So just to note that these are just my opinions and not financial advice. I am someone who's built up a habit to save, and I aspire to build wealth in the long term through investing. So I'm just here to give some budgeting tips so you can become strategic and consistent with your finances. And lastly, I would really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe to be alerted for more videos like this. And also leave a comment down below if you'd like me to show you how I would budget salaries with specific circumstances. So this could be if you are a parent or a student or just needing a little bit more help with your finances. So I'm just going to jump straight in and we can get started. So in today's video, I'll be taking a different perspective and I'll be showing you how I would budget as a student in university working part-time. In this scenario, realistic part-time hours are around 10 hours a week and you would be making around £12.21 an hour depending on your age. And I will also assume that SFE or student finance will take care of majority of your rent and personal spending would have to be on your own money. So naturally things may be a little tight, but if you live below your means, you can work around it and still save up for the future. So firstly, I'm going to break down the costs that we'll be working with. So working 10 hours a week with an hourly pay of £12.21 an hour will average around £528.69 a month pre-tax. And due to this being below the tax bracket and within the yearly allowance, most students will not be taxed. So we can assume that our take-home pay will still be £528 a month. I'm going to use a ratio method to budget the salary, and the ratio can depend on your circumstances, and in this case it's a little different as most university students hopefully will not have any debt, so I'm going to exclude debt. In this case, I will stick to the 60 to 25 to 15 ratio, where 60% of your earnings should go to your needs, 25% to your wants, and 15% to your savings. So this is around £318 to needs, £132 to wants, and £79 to savings. Right, so I'll start off with filling in the amount £528 on the income side of my budget sheet, and I'm just going to leave out the pence for now. I love using the budget sheet as it makes tracking your finances so much easier, and you can fill in actual amounts or budget, and it also automatically calculates your totals for you. And if you would like access to this budget sheet, the link will be down below in the description. All you can do is just click on it and you'll be directed to the website. So I've just laid out my cash. I'm just using cash as a visualization because it's a lot more engaging. And I know some people like working with cash and stuff in envelopes for saving challenges. I'm still in the process of getting an actual cash binder, so please bear with me. And I'm also going to be using false dollar notes to represent pounds since dealing with coins can be a little annoying. Okay, so I'll begin with the needs, which is around £318, and you should try and keep the spending around this number. I'm going to assume that help from parents or SFE takes care of most of the rent, so I'm going to put aside around £110 in case some people slightly come out of pocket for rent. So I'm just going to pick up 50, 100, and 10. So next up is water. Normally in a house share, these averages around £25 or less. So that is what I will budget. So that is £20 and £5. For gas and electricity, this bill should be split and at most be £40 per person. So if you're sharing with more people, it will likely be a lot less in the UK, but in this case, I'm going to overestimate amounts. So that is 10, 20, 30, £40. Next up is food. I recommend doing most of your shopping in a Lidl or an Aldi if you have one nearby, because when I was a student, it saved me so much money and helped me stay under £30 a week. I think this amount is quite realistic, so I'm going to budget £120 for food. So that is 50, £120. And lastly, we have transport. Now, this is going to slightly take us over the ratio amount and I would budget around £30. If you don't have to pay as much rent, then I'd put this money into transport. But as a rule of thumb, students are recommended to buy a yearly bus pass at the start of the year if needed, which is a lot cheaper than buying daily passes. Or students should live close by to the university so they can just walk. This isn't a lot for the month, but if you can make it work, it's ideal, or just move money from your savings. So that is £10, £20 and £30. So the total for needs is £325, which is slightly above our targeted £318, but that's okay. Now I'm moving on to our wants category, which is around £132. So study material is generally bought at the start of the year, but I'll just budget £10 for the odd folders and stationery. I wish I could budget more for eating out because it's a universal lazy student experience, but since the money is tight, I'm going to only budget around £50, which can still get you 2 to 4 takeouts monthly depending on what you get. So that's £20, £30, £40, £45 and £50. For the gym, I will budget £20, so that's just a 20. I would recommend finding free sessions and finding cheaper gyms around you. For personal spending, and this can include maintenance shopping, leisure, etc., I'll budget £42. So that is 20, 30, 40 and £2. And lastly, subscriptions will only be £10 because there are many free alternatives online. Now I'm moving on to the savings. So ideally this should be 15% of your income or £79, because as a student I know it's difficult to save since you're not earning a whole salary. But the point of this channel is learning to manage your money. So even if it's a small amount, a little can always go a long way, and it sets you up with that discipline of learning how to pay your future self instead of racking up debt and overdraft. So we're starting off with emergency savings, and I'm going to budget £29. So that's 25, 27, £29. This can be a leeway for any sudden expenses. For investments, I highly recommend placing this money in a cash ISA or regular ISA or even in index funds to grow over time. So you can split this into savings for a small holiday, a car, etc., or just the future in general. And a little goes a long way with compounding interest. So I'm placing the remaining £50 in investments. So I'm just going to put in a 50 note, and for a student to be able to invest £50 monthly is actually very good, and if you can keep it up, then all the better. So this is the debt section, but I'm just going to skip over debt. And this is our checking balance. Now, as you can see, we're left with £0, but our budget total actually equals £536. So we're actually £8 over budget, and I'm just going to remove that from the emergency savings, making it £21 instead of £29. Now I'll quickly just fill everything into my budget sheet to log everything down. And here is a total overview. You can see the money in and the money out. This has been a very tight budget, so we are left with a checking amount of £0, but that's okay since everything has been budgeted according to how much you think you're going to use. And as you can see here on the pie chart, that the ratio is close enough, and we've managed to hit them pretty well. So that's the end of the video. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like this video and please subscribe to the channel. It really helps to support the channel and also lets me know that you actually like content like this. And once again, to access the budget sheet, just click the link down in the description and you'll be able to start organizing your money today. So thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for more budgeting tips and videos coming soon. Bye everyone!